Before you ever chose your own words, other people were already telling a story about you. She's the quiet one. He's difficult. They're the responsible one. Those early lines can become the first draft of your identity, the version of you that was written before you knew you could hold the pen. Welcome back to the story you become. This episode is called Childhood Narratives. Picture a child at a family gathering. Adults talk over them, sometimes about them, as if they're not really there. She's so sensitive. He never listens. She's the star of the family. He's just like his father. These phrases might sound casual, but for a child who hears them often, they become mirrors. Children learn who they are by the way others respond to them, through praise and criticism, attention and neglect, through the roles they're given in the family story. Over time, those repeated messages sink in as truths. I'm too much. I'm not enough. I'm only valuable when I perform. My job is to keep the peace. These are not just descriptions. They are the first drafts of your inner narrator. Many families unconsciously assign roles. You might recognize some of these. The golden child, the one who must succeed, excel, and make the family proud. The scapegoat, the one who gets blamed when things go wrong. The peacemaker, the one who smooths conflict, keeps everyone calm. The invisible one, the quiet child who flies under the radar, not causing trouble, not getting much attention. Imagine a little boy named Arun. He asks a lot of questions. He has big feelings. Sometimes he cries loudly, sometimes he gets angry. The adults around him are stressed, overwhelmed. They sigh and say, "Why are you so difficult? Stop being dramatic." They say it often enough that it becomes a kind of nickname. You know Arun, always the difficult one. Years later, as an adult, he might find himself apologizing for existing, shrinking his needs, avoiding conflict, or over controlling everything, because somewhere deep down, the first draft still whispers, "You are too much." If it feels okay, you can try a short reflection with me. If your childhood was very painful, only go as far as feels safe, and you can stop at any time. Take a breath. Think of a phrase you heard often growing up about you. It might have been spoken out loud or implied through behavior. Maybe, "You're the responsible one. You're too sensitive. You're the strong one. You're just lazy." See if one line comes to mind. Now imagine your younger self, the age when that line felt most vivid. Picture them in some familiar place, your old room, a school corridor, the corner of the living room. Notice what that little you looks like. How are they holding their body? What expression is on their face? Now gently ask, what did you start to believe about yourself when you heard that line? Maybe, "I'm never allowed to fail. My feelings are a burden. I have to fix everything. Nothing I do is good enough." Just notice. No need to argue or fix it yet. Simply see the belief that got planted. Now imagine your current self sitting down next to that younger you. You, with the years and experience you have now, looking at this child who did their best with very limited power. What would you want to say to them about that old line? Maybe. You were never just the difficult one. You were sensitive and alive in a house that didn't know how to handle it. You were not only the responsible one, you were a child who deserved care too. You didn't fail because you were lazy. You were scared or unsupported or overwhelmed. Notice how different that feels from the original message. This is what it means to update the first draft. Not to erase what happened, but to tell the truth with more context, more compassion, more adult understanding. You can thank the younger you for how hard they worked to keep you safe and still decide to try new ways of being. Thank you for listening to Childhood Narratives. Before you could choose your own story, stories were chosen for you. Some were loving, some were clumsy, some were deeply unfair. None of them have to be the final word. If it feels right, you might take a few minutes this week to write down one line you absorbed about yourself as a child, and then write a second line from your present perspective that adds more truth and care. In our next episode, memory is a rewrite. We'll explore how memory itself is not a fixed recording but an ongoing act of reconstruction, and how that can be both dangerous and healing. Until then, be gentle with the child in your story. They were doing the best they could with the script they were given.